Yeah, hello. So, I've got this one right here. I bought this one off of Facebook. I think, what was that, 2024? Or 2023 I bought this. And I think I paid $50 for it. It's an 8X recorder for DVD. And the DVD recorder does not record at all onto 8X discs. It won't even record. It says right here that it records onto minus RW. From what I've gathered from the recorder itself, it says right there. Fortunately, it won't record on RW. It only records onto minus Rs. There's some, I guess, supposedly in shipping, I guess, it got damaged. You can kind of see where I think some of the damage occurred. Unfortunately, when I contacted the seller, they didn't respond. They actually blocked me. So, you know, there's always sellers out there that are always rude. And I remember when these were new, when they were making these, because my father had one that did not have a DVD recorder. It was an Emberson. I think it was from 2002. And I remember it very vaguely. It died sometime and stopped working. The DVD player still worked yet, but the VCR wouldn't work anymore after 2008. So my father went out and bought one of those Philips ones with an analog tuner to replace the one that he had. But anyways, so I remember this. So they had a model that came out before this one. I think it was called the DVR 80 VE or something. It came out in like 2002. It was like a recorder on both sides. Then they made those for 2 years, and then they made this one, and then they made another one after this for 2 years. They had an HD recorder. It had like a hard drive built into it. Then they made that one with a digital tuner. I think they made that one for 07 to 08. SLV something. So, you know, Sylvania's only ever had 4 combo units that I know about. Then you've got the cheap, then you got the cheap ones that they continued to, it was like literally the same model that they made for 8 years? Literally until 2007. They made the same model for 5 years. They just kept coming up with different model names to put on the back of it. Anyways, the one that was here before was this LG here, and the issue with it is the DVD player no longer works anymore. I bought this one here off of Facebook for $5. Got it locally, and I put a DVD in there. It was listed as fully functional, just need a remote. And I brought it home, and the DVD player itself kept saying error, but it played CDs fine until a few days ago when it suddenly stopped. And then it started, and then it just quit. It just kept saying error message on the front. So I don't know. We'll have to take that one apart to see what's wrong with that one now. Yeah. So this one right here will be its replacement for a little bit. I gotta get it hooked up here. So we've got this one right here that goes to the projector. It's an RCA brand. You can't get those anymore. Then I've got sound system. This is number 2 and this is number 1. And so at first I thought it was, I thought it was the weight. So you got to hook them up. So this one right here is number 1. So it would go into, if I remember correctly how this goes. So it would go into DVD VCR out. No, so it'd be in. So it would go in here. Red is for the right channel. And the white one go on the top here for the left channel. If you've ever seen somebody hook up a DVD player to another DVD player, now I know how to do it, but then you plug in the video here. And most people are asking me, well, how do you get two? Well, there's always hookups on the front. And you run them through and you just change the inputs, and that's how you get two DVD players. Now this cord right here would go into the out. So you'd plug it into here for the left. And then the right. Then you get the video hooked up. You get the idea. And then anyway, so I happen to have it hooked up to a sound system from the 90s. So I use this here. You get these from Menards if they still have them yet. I don't know. Last time I went in there, I couldn't get them anymore. You bring it up around here like that. Of course, it's not going to stay because, you know, gravity. I guess I won't be able to get it, but as you see me struggling trying to put it over here where I just had it, I might have to put down the camera, but whatever. And then it's supposed to go in here, like for example, some of these DVD VCR combos actually have ones like this, some of them don't. Like if you get like a cheap model, it won't have that extra. It won't have that extra, like if you get like a cheaper model. I've noticed this, it only seems to come on like the more expensive ones. Like for example, this one right here was manufactured in July of 2004. The one I'm now hooking up was manufactured in October of 2004. And you can see here it's got audio out, but it says for DVD exclusive only. But it's only the coaxial out for the DVD. This still works. Unless if this doesn't work, then you just use this, which is for the regular out. So, fortunately for this one right here, is it says for DVD only, so you would have to connect it there. So, I put a tape in the Sylvania, and it actually did not eat it. But when I clicked rewind, it acted up. So I've got this one here, or I could try to dig out the old Panasonic from like 2004. So there's not many options anymore for VCR DVD combos because, as you know, they stopped making them in 2017. So they stopped making them for the U.S. government, for the Chinese government. Funai actually had a contract with the Chinese government to manufacture them. Most people don't know that. They had one at one point, and the contract ended in 2017, I believe. It was like February 1st. So this one right here was manufactured in 2011. So it's like on the newer side. It's like the last 5 years, like 6 years of production. So the only suggestion I think I might have to do is might have to order another one off Amazon. If I choose to order one, I might just go online, just go on there and order maybe, I don't know, a Panasonic. Maybe one of the older ones. Who knows? They just don't seem to last. You either get one that works or you get one that doesn't last. So it's just like, Panasonic ones don't last either. I've seen them before where they last like 5 or 6 years. It's because the quality of this stuff is so cheap. So I've decided to go along with this one, which is a Toshiba SD-V296, which was manufactured in July of 2011. And yes, I got this one from the local school district because they actually had boatloads of these. And they were giving them away for free, and I only managed to pick up 3 of them. And the gear broke in one of them, so I posted it online for free, and I didn't realize that the parts in these things are freaking ridiculous. Really, really expensive. I did not know that, what I know now. But this one right here has been sitting for a while. I think it's been sitting for 2 years. not being used, and it still works, and it's not putting anything out onto the tape. So, and these are not rare at all. As you see, people selling these on Amazon or eBay for like, or you know, even on Facebook for like hundreds of dollars. They're not worth that. This, I'll show you the front of it. These originally sold at Walmart. Walmart originally sold these for $89 when they were new. $89 unit when new. And now they go new for like almost $1,000. Originally $89. They originally sold these from 2007 to 2017. That's when they originally manufactured these. You can buy newly manufactured ones from 2016 and 2017 on Amazon for $1,000. $89 originally at Walmart. I know my aunt had one of these. It said Magnavox right here. And it was built in 2012, April. And she finally gave it to me. I think she gave it to me, what was that year? It was like 2020. She gave it to me because she no longer needed it anymore. She had copied her tapes. And the VCR no longer worked anymore. DVD player worked, but I wish I would have kept it just for the DVD player. Because it was like those last gasp, you know, Funai VCR DVD combos were like the DVD players were built very well, but when it came to the VCRs, like they were trash. But anyways, I've seen them before where the DVD players don't even work anymore. It's because people either dropped them or they didn't take care of them. So, I'll show you how to hook one of these things up. So, if you don't have a RCA brand cable like this, you should run out and get one. And anyways, you see on this how it says, how that's labeled DVD. And I did check on the Sylvania. I got no sound when I connected it here for the VHS. So the VHS audio will have to come out of here for your speaker system. It will have to. Which means that you can only connect the video cable. And yes, I know this isn't 2025 and we're connecting a VCR. That's almost, 13 years old now? And yes, and next year, every single VCR will be officially 10 years old. Actually, no, 2027 will be officially 10 years old, every single one. So, that's where that goes. And you take your audio cables, and you connect the white one here for your left channel. Make sure you get it on there nice and snug. Red one here for your right channel. Make sure you get that on there nice and snug. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult when you get like a unit that's hardly ever been used. Okay, then you look on the back of here where you got the end for the VCR. Okay, so now I'll be taking another cable here. If I can get it. Yeah, I got it. Okay. So I always want to make sure that I have the cables here. Like, for example, this one right here is for number 2, so I like to put it over the top of the unit. And then I'll take this one right here. And then, if I believe correctly, I've got, just so you're, most people are curious, like, well, you plug it in. Well, I've got these 2 Magnavox DVD players. One of them is made by LG, the other one's made by Funai. I notice is anything that's made by LG that has the Magnavox name on it will not have the word Funai Corporation Industries written on it. It will either have the Philips Consumer Electronics, North America, or if you take it apart and you look at the television tuner, if it has one, it'll have like a little LG logo on it. Most of the time it will have that Life's Good logo that you see on the commercials. I've noticed that most of the time they have that. And all else you can tell is if the model ends in MD Sometimes it'll be like different. Sometimes it'll be like MDV. Or sometimes it'll be like, most of the times it's MDV. But with a number, it's either a 4 or a 5. And if there's an FCC ID number, you can search it and you can see who built it. Like, for example, this one right here has a number right there. Kind of hard to see. I wish it would focus more, but it says FCC ID BEJ90. And then it says DKE4420, which comes up to be, it says made in Indonesia, which is, you know, Magnavox stuff was never made in Indonesia. It was always made in China. China or Japan or USA. Hardly ever anywhere else other than that. If you're lucky enough to get, you know, I think it's some of their stuff, some of the earlier stuff, like from the 80s, was probably made in Thailand. But other than that, Indonesia's pretty rare for, you know, Magnavox. So that's definitely for sure not made by, you know, Funai. But this one right here might actually be a Funai product. Because you notice how this one right here, you notice how they don't mention made in China? I noticed that. So this one right here on the bottom might actually be made by Funai. It might just be an older design. It might be just an older design because it doesn't have the same codes as the top one, believe it or not. But as you can see here, this one right here at the top is a MWD 7006. And yes, I paid $5 for it. I got it off of Facebook. I think that was the one I got off of Facebook. I can't remember now. They all look the same. It might be, it might not be, but anyways, both of these ones right here are not worth any more than like $10 on eBay. Like, that's literally what they sell for, is like $10. You can literally get these like cheap. Like super cheap, and they're super easy to work on. And anyways, the bottom is an MDV 456-17, which is worth, I think, around $15 on Amazon. I mean, on eBay, worth about 15 to 10. If you're lucky enough to find them at a thrift store, you can probably find them for like $4 or $5. They're not worth anything, really. It's not like the VCRs where they're like going for like hundreds of dollars just because they're VCRs. That's the only reason why they're going for so much on Amazon. Anyway, so you take the second one here, which would be for the bottom one here, which was manufactured in October of 2004, and the top one October of 2006. And no, I did not plan that. That's just the way how I found them. So this one right here would go in here. If it goes in there, you gotta make sure it's nice and snug there. And I always try to connect as many things as I can to these VCR DVD combos when I set them up, because you can always change it between them. And make sure when you're doing this, you have the power strip off. It's kind of hard to get to the other side. I might have to unplug these two. I don't think I've ever showed me plugging things in like this before. Usually I just pause the camera. Anyway, so there goes that. Okay, so now we're done with that. And you see how you got these two extra ones here? I always plug these into the DVD audio. I always do this. If you have a sound system, because that way then your projector or your television will be getting the audio from the DVD player. So you can have it set up so you have the audio either through the TV or through the sound system. And the component here I've never really used. Nobody ever uses that anymore. Especially the S-Video, because there's no need for it. There's like hardly any use for it anymore. You gotta make sure then that this cable here gets wrapped around behind here. Like this. Obviously, I'm not showing it, but okay. And then you take the second cable. So now this one right here would be the number 2 sound system. If I believe, yeah, it's number 2 sound system. It's got the same cords, okay. And you connect it. These Toshibas, these like later ones are really pain in the ass to get them in these tiny ass holes. Because you can hardly tell. Because they're marked. And also I noticed this too, some of these VCR DVD combos from like the 2000s. I noticed this, I think the Sonys are like this. The audios are literally the same color. I think they're like a white color on the front, and it's a pain in the ass because you actually have to look. Some people can't remember, but they have to look it up, and they can't remember. But this is the reason why I chose this Toshiba, is because it was the only one I had available. And fortunately, the Sylvania I showed you earlier, I put a tape in there, and it was putting these like little like circular dust things all over it. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that was up about, but you can see here, this one right here happens to, it's so dusty. I don't know why it's so dusty. It's only been sitting for 1.5 years. I clean it every 6 months. I just wipe it down. So it's got the Adobe Digital, the compact disc, and the DTS digital. You notice this, how it's got both of them, the Adobe and the DTS. That would make this a high-end DVD player. If this were to come out in 1998 or 1997, this would have been a high-end DVD player. It would have been high-end, but it probably would have been very cheap. And I always do this. Unfortunately, I won't be able to show you guys how I test the systems and everything, because I don't really have anything that's not copy protected. Like I got this. So, I don't know how this is going to work, but anyways. And then I've also got, I should show this one too. I'm going to make a video on this one later. But this is the Sylvania one that I just picked up. It's actually not that old. I was looking online for another one of these because I wanted to have Sound System 4 hooked up. I wanted to have a 4th sound system. And I found this one at a thrift store for just like $4. It was nice. My father got it for me. So it's kind of nice. As you can tell, it's got the same body style. It's got the same 3-screw hookups. It's got the same, it's the same cheap disc too, and it doesn't even have a screen on the front like some of them do. So, yeah, the buttons all work and everything. I thought this was interesting. I should show you the back of it. This one right here is actually kind of rare for a Sylvania. Sylvanias are kind of rare because they made a ton of them, but the quality wasn't that good, so they just didn't last. It's a I can't say it right, but it's a 150G. If you can read that, I can't pronounce that for some reason. Sylvania DVL 150G. I read it kind of slowly so I could finally get it. March of 2006 it was manufactured. Did you notice this 2006 was the last year that they even made anything like this? Which is actually considered to be a lie, because if you take these 3 screws off and you look at the bottom of the plate, it has you can see that they manufactured these plates starting all the way back in, like, what was that, like 2003? And they continued making them until 2008. You could buy these. Like, you could go to, like, the manufacturer and buy these plates. Like, and buy, like, massive amounts of them. I don't know why you would want them, but you could. And I do notice this about this. They're just about all the same. Look at this. Look at this. You see how it's got, like, the same S-Video? It's the same. It's literally the same product. They're literally the same product. And if you look here closely enough, you see it's got the same E number, E175216. E175216. It's literally got the same number. Now the other one on the other hand over there, I can't really see it because it's so far away, but there it is. Yeah, it's got the same number. So yeah, so these are Funai DVD players. Surprising that they all work, considering that they're so old. Yeah, they're so lightweight. Yep. See, I'll show you this. See, look, so you turn them on like this. This one actually has a screen, which I bought this one because I like. This is the one right here that I got from the thrift store. I think I paid the top one there. So I think it was like $6.99 at the local thrift store, which was about half price to what they sell them for on eBay. The middle one here, this one right here, I got this one right here from Facebook. I think I paid $5 for it. It even came with the remote. And the remote control I think it came with was this one right here. Yeah, this one right here is like a $70, I think it's like a $40 remote control off of Amazon, which is ridiculous. Thank God I didn't have to buy one of those, because that's the only remote control that one will work with, which is kind of sad. So I'll show you this. So you click here. And there's sooner or later, there's going to be a fourth one here on the top. I'm thinking about hooking up I have another 2 of these DVD players I'm going to hook up. So I thought that was pretty sweet. If you really like, mechanical action, there you go. The only way how I can test this is 2 of these here I can test with an actual disc to see if they still even line up. This one right here has got a little bit of dirt in here. Get rid of that real quick. Make sure it's off. You can hear it go. It's running around in there. There it goes. 13 tracks. The top one I might not be able to push the button with. They move way too fast. You see how they're like very lightweight. Very filthy, very dusty. 13 tracks. Fortunately, I won't be able to do that. I'll just have to click it like that. Now, this middle one right here does not have a screen on it, so there won't be any way to detail the information. Notice it's got all these special features and everything. It's got this TV, G-Active, and Activate. It's got the DVX. It's got all these special features. I'll have to pause. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get to the inputs on this because I don't have a remote control for this one. This one right here was built in 2007, March of 2007. It's a Magnavox DVD player BDP170MW8. And you notice it's got the Energy Star logo. It's the same style as the previous one. As this one right here, but it has HDMI. It's similar similar features, but it has HDMI, which I thought was strange for 2007, considering that they were building these in 2006 without HDMI. So I don't know, I thought that was weird. So that's those. So I thought this was kind of strange, but now that would be something if you clicked a button and they all opened. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have the top two plugged in. That'd be something to see all the trays. Be something, wouldn't that be? Well, as always, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. See you in the next one. Bye. Thanks for watching. Super Satin Productions.